Hola. Hello, Envoys. Oh, we got an inbox message, which we don't have an inbox for yet. I just want to do a little bit of a quick video today, just regarding a few of the different things that I've been able to build in-game. I finally got the Rook from the Silent Rose faction, and finally, the Siren Pact. I'm very excited to use them. It took me a little while to get to the Silent Rose faction and build up the right amount of faction standing for it. But I have had a request for a video regarding the Odiac as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through probably with the Tempest Pact is probably one of the better packs to showcase the abilities of the Odiac. But then also I want to go through just a small amount of where to farm this fragment for the Odiac weapon itself so you can craft it. So if you weren't part of the original Spirit user faction and you started with, say, the Courage Pact or the Grace factions, the Silent Rose or the Kith of Kings, you won't initially have access to the Odiac, which is an electric throwing lightning ball fist weapon basically. It is ranged, which is really great, so I'll take you through and just show you how it works. To start off with, its range is really good, and the last couple of hotfixes and the patch update that came through with P10 has been really good, being able to diversify where you can find the fragments of it. The best way that I would probably recommend to farm this guy is to go through and do some of your faction tales. Generally, probably the 1-star or 2-star would best be the faction tales to run to gain XP with whatever faction that you're running, but also the Sparrow Tales to be able to gain the fragments. There's a few different locations that you can essentially find the fragment parts. Generally, when you spawn in game, you will arrive within the Carlisle area, roughly around there. I'm currently still with the Silent Rose faction, and I originally did start with the Alka's Children. So as a spirit user in the game, you start with the Odiac weapon. As far as I'm aware, I haven't been able to redo the start of the game, as this is the main account that I have. But to be able to find some more of the fragments of the Odiac weapon, it is good to run the faction tales, or Sparrow Tales rather, in-game. And they will drop generally from the white-clad magic throwing enemies around. So I'm going to see if I can go hunt some down for you guys, and hopefully they drop a fragment. The higher the enemy level, generally, the more fragments will drop. So my recommendation is to run at least the 2-star Sparrow Tales or the 3-star Sparrow Tales as well. And to be able to find higher level enemies, the further out you go from the centralized area of where we spawn, essentially you could run up to, say, like Comba's Lev. Where else? I've got Mines of Barrow. They're still probably about like a mid-tier level of enemies that can spawn, but your best bet is to go through the Sparrow Tales as well. So currently I've got the 1-star Sparrow Tale, so I'll head over that way and hopefully we get a 2-star spawn happening in game. So, and hopefully the drop of the Odiac fragment comes through as well. I've been able to farm out quite a few of the fragments myself, which has been pretty good, but as being a starter of the P9 series of Soulframe, I ended up getting the Odiac just as a starter weapon, where now I think that's been replaced with the Gwylen staff, or Gwylen rather. I like calling it Gwylen, I don't know why, I just think it sounds really cute, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of an identified name as well. Alongside the Odiac, this is the Tempest. This can be purchased at rank 5 from any of the 3 factions, the Kith of Kings, the Silent Rose, or the Alka's Children. The pathway that I took to get to the other factions, starting off with Alka's Children, I maintained my connection with the Alpha's Children all the way up until I got to rank 5. And I believe the faction points to obtain this Pact is roughly about 3,000 or 4,000 rep standing. So in totality, from rank neutral up to rank 5 for any faction, it costs you roughly about 20,000 standing, and I believe the daily cap is around 15,000. So your best bet is to run the faction tales, because they are the ones that drop a lot more of the loot, and you've got a lot higher drop chance within those Sparrow Tale faction farm quests that spawn all over the map. And the 2-star to 3-star are generally a better bet. Your 1-star will drop a little bit of fragments, but it's not guaranteed. So the Odiac does drop from more so the 2-star or the 3-star tales as well. But as you travel around, you do find a lot more of the chests that are around the world as well. Enemies do still drop a few bits and pieces here and there, but they're more guaranteed, mostly more from the chests rather than the actual enemies. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to find too many of those magic casters just yet. But some of the areas that I have come across to find those guys, oh, we got some lightning, don't want that. This area through here in Carlisle is generally pretty good. Fort Carlisle is even better. If you can get the right spawns for the enemies to be generated in-game, you can log in, log out as another option if you want to respawn the game or regenerate and reset the entire world map to be able to get more of the faction tales to spawn properly. I have found in the last week the Sparrow Tales have been a little bit askew with spawning. So just the time frame of when you enter into the game until the next faction tier or Sparrow Tale tier arrives in game is roughly about 5 to 6 minutes. I guess it's probably just the game registering that you're actively in game as well. So since the 2-star spawn is spawned up, I'll go run that, and hopefully that drops the Odiac fragment that people have been requesting a video on. And I hope that actually helps you guys too. So, where is the Moaner? So it does look like that we'll be going into the Undercity, which is beneficial as well, especially because it's right next to the Mines of Barrow. That's generally one of the quickest ways to get into a dungeon run. And generally, your rarer fragments will drop from more of, say, like your bannerets that spawn at the end of any dungeon run as well. So not really an easy way to get around to it, unfortunately, but it is probably the most guaranteed way to be able to get the fragments that you're after, specifically on the Odiac, or even say like the Gwylen mage stuff as well. Both of these caster weapons are really, really fantastic. They both do a lot of damage as well. The more levels that you get with them, the better chance that you've got of outputting a lot more damage as well. So just to showcase a little bit more of how the Odiac runs, I can show the build that I put together for it after. That's the heavy attack as well, so you just stand and charge up quite a heavy lightning ball, and then you just hurl it at the enemy. So for lower level enemies, they do quite a bit of damage, but even for the heavy enemies too, if you run and then you click your heavy attack, it will do a double-handed throw as well, so it does tend to do a little bit more damage. It doesn't look super strong at first, but there is an ability within the Odiac ability tree that you can activate to do piercing damage. As you can see, there was an enemy just behind this heavy unit, and I just threw a heavy attack, and it basically one-shot them, which is really, really cool. So we've got some tantrum lightning going on. We love that. The AoE on those has been increased as well. So yeah, if you see an enemy throw their weapon into the ground and placate the heavens, I definitely recommend dodge and roll, because they will potentially take you out with the lightning, especially if you're a lower level to start with, but eventually you can minimize the damage that they output with the Tantrum Lightning. I've decided to dub it. So I'll take you through a dungeon run, and hopefully we see some of the Odiac fragments drop as well. And hopefully Flappy Bird wants to participate in showing us the right locations to go to, so it seems to be working pretty well right now. As another option as well, for farming in-game as well, I would recommend doing it on a solo at the moment. Co-op seems to be a little bit janky when it comes to fragment acquisition, especially when you're, say, located where I'm located in the world, and then the, say for example, I've got a friend who plays in North America. Their locational area will be very, very different, so the ping sometimes can be a bit of an issue for the game to register some of the equipment, some of the materials that drop for you as well. So I'm not going to be too thorough with this run today. I don't necessarily need to be, but the point of it is just to run it and see if the Odiac tends to drop from here as well. And like I say too, it's not an absolute guarantee, but it is worthwhile running these faction tales as well, because they do hit a few different targets in the game. You get lots of XP, you get some faction rep as well, and it does create the opportunity to get relatively decent RNG for the fragments that you're trying to source out in-game to farm as well. That's a good smite move as well. So as soon as you see your enemy glow, that means their soul's exposed. Just tap your soul mode button and it should absorb their soul into you. And the color that they glow is a replacement of, say, the ability that you use. So say I use the green ability, the second ability for Ode Tempest, and I make a smite move happen. That is all dependent on the amount of smite hits that the enemies take. There are certain weapons in the game, predominantly off the top of my head, some of the dual short swords, like the Twin Tines as an example. That one is a really, really strong 3-star rarity of a weapon, and because you hit the enemies twice as much, because you're using 2 weapons at the same time, and it's a dual weapon, it definitely hits out a lot of smite as well. You don't get too many smite chances with using the Odiac. It does depend on whether or not that enemy may have some weakness towards voltaic damage, which is a really good synergy with the Ode Tempest itself, because it enhances voltaic damage. So another reason to rank up your faction to rank 5 and obtain the Ode Tempest, it is something that's really worthwhile doing. It's definitely one of the most powerful packs in the game, and the fact that you can throw down your shield and enemies just can hit you, they barely touch you, it just rebalances all the energy and the damage for the enemy. There we go, we got another smite there, and a soul absorption, which was pretty cool. And definitely check out most of the areas as well, because you will find hidden chests quite a lot. That's definitely an element to this game that I really personally enjoy quite a lot. Definitely based on exploration, that's for sure. So explore as much as what you possibly can. If you think there may be a puzzle, definitely use your soul mode as well. And you can tell that soul mode's active. You get a little bit more of a glow around your envoy, and the Pact itself will show a glowing or some sort of animation on the shoulder as well. Odiac, Tempest are a really, really good synergistic Pact and weapon duo as well. I haven't been using the Odiac as much since I've been leveling up quite a few different weapons to obtain, especially one of the new secondaries, the Grin, as well, which I put a video together as well. I can link that in the video description as well, for anyone interested in checking out to see how you can focus farm the Grin secondary. It is a really, really strong secondary, and its smite damage, I believe, is around 9 hits out of 100. And it definitely packs a punch as well, especially for a secondary. So I'll just run through here, have a little bit of a look around. I won't run upstairs. It's mostly more just to be able to find these, the sinecure that are hanging around. And hopefully we can get the banneret at the end as well to drop some of the Odiac parts as well. But yeah, as you can see, if you drop down your second ability, the atmosphere, I believe it's called, it just generates a huge field that basically primes the enemies for damage and essentially creates the Odiac to be a one-hit, basically. Not every single enemy will die straight up, but it does a lot of damage as a ranged weapon and as a caster. That's definitely something I really appreciated when I first started getting the Odiac. So choosing the Spirit User as a class to start with was, in my books, a really, really wise choice, which is really great. So I do find that the first ability is a little bit... It's very powerful, but I feel thematically, or that following the theme of Ode Tempest, to me, the first ability is just a rolling fireball. To me, I would have liked to see that probably put more into, say, maybe, say, like the Tethering as a courage pact, and because the Kith of Kings holds the Ignamora weapon, which you come across initially in the game, is more of, say, like a fire sword. I would like to possibly suggest that the rolling ball of fire gets shifted away from the Tempest, or at least the animation showing off a little bit more, say, like a wind or tornado style attack that does exactly what it does, but does it in, say, like more of like a windstorm form. Only just because the Ode Tempest to me is more of, say, like a storm or like a thunderhead, something with a bit of lightning as well. I think it could be a nice little transition from the fireball for sure. But overall, the Ode Tempest Pact is honestly one of my favorite ones. Definitely a very, very strong pact choice for sure, especially if you're running solo missions and you're wanting to crowd control as well. So yeah, you can see that it just one-hits enemies basically. But the fact that they're a level 10 too, I mean, that's kind of helpful as well. So we got the Bog and Myrtle fragment from that, which is pretty good. That one's a grace-based sword and shield, or shield weapon rather. And unfortunately we didn't get any casters within this run, so what I might do is just jump out to the world map again. So I'll finish up this dungeon run and see if we can find some of the Odiac fragments around as well. Alright, Snappy Bird, where are you heading to, buddy? So, it looks like we can probably run straight through, and then hopefully this is the exit for the for this dungeon run. Generally, I do find if the Snappy Bird doesn't really want to play with you, and he seems like he's kind of drunkenly flying around, I generally use the compass icon for the bird to follow instead of using Flappy Bird, because he can get stuck a little bit. Sometimes the pathing coding doesn't really work well for him. Just jump out of this one, and then I'll head up top. Unfortunately, I didn't make that jump. It is pretty satisfying when you do, though. But if you guys have got any favorite Pact weapon synergies as well, feel free to pop them into the comments as well. I've been playing around a lot with, probably say like the Tethering Pact and the Thistle Bow. That's been a really strong synergy together as well. The description does mention more so, probably more melee-based hits. You do more damage, which is true. But I do find the Tethering Pact ability, the first one, applying that damage buff, once you do an AoE hail with, say, like a fully ranked up Thistle Bow, it just shreds enemies. Bows are really, really strong on the game anyway, so even if you get your hands on, say, like the Juniper Bow, as an example, you've just got to do three of the little idols that are kind of around. I believe there's one in the water area through here. I believe there's also another idol near the College of Pensives as well, and you should get a vision from both of those places. And then the last place, I believe, is over near Hughes, where you find a little house. I believe it's hidden just around this area, and there's the last totem idol that you can play, the little Odie talkie thingy, and you should receive one fragment of the Juniper Bow each time that you play that tune at those 3 locations, and you should be able to craft the Juniper Bow as long as you've got enough of the materials farmed out from, say, like your Faction Tales, or even just running the dungeons as is as well. So these are the enemies that I was telling you about before, the white-clad enemies. As you can see, they do have the Odiac gloves on as well. Their attack is different the way that we have it, but what would be nice to see is the application of that wide kind of carving beam that they throw out with the Odiac. I'd love to see the Envoy gloves be able to obtain that attack as well. So I'm just going to run up here as well and have a look and see if we've got any more of those enemies hanging around as well. Most of the time the Odiac will drop more so from those white-clad mage casters as well. But this is also a really nice area to test out the Ode Tempest as well. I know it's a bit of a sidetrack from the Odiac farm, but the damage output for both of these together is really, really cool. So I like being able to show this one off. And the more stagger you have from the armor that you wear, the less opportunity the enemies are able to interrupt what you're doing as well. And your stagger bar is essentially a white little bar that starts to fill up just around your health pool on the left-hand side. But you can see too, like once you truck the atmosphere ability down, the second ability of Odiac, and using the Odiac, the Ode Tempest Pact, and then using the Odiac weapon itself within the atmosphere is extremely good for damage output, especially for these level 23s. Like, starting out the game, you don't hit as high, but once you've maxed it out and you've got a pretty good synergy setup, depending on your courage stat within your stats as well, that does increase the amount of damage that you do within the area of effect, so it's pretty cool. Definitely one of my favorite synergies of the game, and works really, really well with the other caster weapon for the Spirit User attunement, which is the Gwylen staff as well. There usually are some caster guys around here as well. There we go. There's one over here. So, Odiac isn't necessarily the easiest fragments to farm, but they do drop as well. And I haven't quite figured out exactly where to farm out, but I'll give this 1 star a whirl, and hopefully it does come through. And then with the patch note update, I'll put a link in the description of the video as well, and that should help you guys a little bit more informationally to see what DE have put together for the drop rate tables for certain weapons and fragments. I'm pretty confident that they do drop from those the white-clad enemies, the Odiac weapon. Another really good tool as well with the Odiac and the Ode Tempest Pact is that you drop your 2 down, it nails these tanks, no problem. They can hit the crap out of you, unfortunately, but yeah, as you can see, those 2 weapons together, or the Pact and weapon synergy, just absolutely annihilates them as well. So I hope this video definitely has helped a lot of people within the Odiac fragment farm. They will drop. It's just running these faction tales and running those dungeons as well. Unfortunately for this run, I haven't got a huge amount of the 1, 2, and 3-star faction runs at the moment. But the longer you wait, the more faction tales will spawn, the Sparrow Tales will form, so you can farm up your faction rep and get some more weapon fragments happening as well. So, but yeah, that's the Odiac and the Tempest synergy. I'll just jump back into Nightfold as well, and I'll show you a few of the other packs that I think work really, really well with the Odiac itself, because they are a really cool looking weapon, and I'm really glad that they stayed in game as well. So there's our leap of faith, or drop of faith as you will. With these guys here, I do use the Triune Amulet, but that one is different. I'll just quickly go through the stat spread of what I've been able to achieve with the Odiac as well. So with this one here, I'll just chuck this one over a little bit as well. So you can see there most of the tree that I've got through the magic tree as well. I've mostly just kept it pretty simple. So first one, I put a mirror spell, which is when you use your guarding ability with the Odiac, it can deflect the magic back to the caster, which is really, really useful. I've kept grounded at 1, just increasing the casting speed while standing still, or 2 points rather. And then I put a couple of points into the Scry, which is casting seeks enemies from afar, so it just increases the range of your attack. Helgong helps to increase the stagger on fully charged attacks, which is that big ball heavy attack that you saw me use a few times. And the Headlong is really useful for heavy attacks charging more quickly. And then lastly, I use the Unhindered, which is heavy cast strikes through the first enemy it hits, upgrade the art to increase the number of enemies. So I could restructure this a little bit to heavy cast, or lean into heavy casting with the Odiac a lot further. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this synergy. It would be nice to see more of the tree to be unlockable. The Spectre Strike and the Jolted for Spectre Strikes, basically on perfect dodge. I don't necessarily use a lot of the perfect dodge mechanic. I'm not too sure how well that synergizes at the moment. I haven't really lent into it too much or experimented too much to figure out how that works. But the Spectre Strikes seem pretty cool, and increasing the amount of smite chance is pretty dope. And then increasing your damage on two-handed casts with the couple charge seems like that would actually do a lot more damage, which I haven't chosen to put another point into that just yet. But then you can put a point into the Odiac tree in Smite, which is the critical strike to the soul. Smite exposes an enemy soul for a short duration, seal exposed souls to deal massive damage. That one could be really, really good. So I could probably potentially restructure this to do more damage or chance to smite the enemy, just so I can steal their soul as well. And then just to give you a little bit more of a rundown of the Ode Tempest structure of the tree setup that I've got at the moment. Lightning Strike is dealing additional voltaic damage on downed enemies, which means basically if they hit the ground, you can just run up to them and essentially one-shot them if they're not dying from some of the attacks that you've got. Gravitate is a really, really cool ability, which is dealing extra voltaic damage, which is really, really nice. I believe that synergizes with the third ability of the Atmosphere, which is the third ability, and that one is just giving you a nice shield, and that's amped up by the Astrosphere. Apologies on getting those two names mixed up. So if you drop your shield, the Atmosphere first, and then drop your second ability, that's the AoE that you see applying all of the priming to all of the enemies that I was using. And then the Sizemore is the ability to be able to just throw out that rolling ball of destruction, which looks pretty cool. But it's not necessarily something I use personally a lot. And then lastly, what I've done with the virtue tree, I've kept the courage around 17 points, the spirit is 13, and the grace is 9. And then lastly as well, if you press tab, or sorry, right click on your weapon, you can come into the Pact menu and you can apply some of the current motes in the game. This is being restructured as well. Currently, the Pact motes that we do have access to are very limited, but I'm really looking forward to the entirety of the new mote system coming in. So, yeah, I hope the video definitely helped a lot of the questions that a lot of you guys have had as well. So, thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure putting this one together. If you guys do have any questions, please pop them in the comments. I'll put the links in for the patch notes as well from Soulframe. Those should help clarify a little bit more about your questions on where to find fragments of the Odiac weapon, and if there's any other weapons or synergies between different packs that you guys would like to see, please post them in the comments of the video, and I generally get to them pretty much at the end of the week, and then I can put another new video together for you all as well. And feel free to like and subscribe. It definitely helps keep the channel active, and I really enjoy putting these videos together for you all. So hope that helped, guys. Take care, and for now I'll say ciao.